Witness the recent New South Wales budget. A $27 billion spending spree, an annual expenditure growth of 26.5%. Net debt, $115 billion. It's a Liberal, Keane-inspired fiscal carnage. As for economic managers, in a New South Wales budget of $95 billion, the savings are $32 million, not billion. Barely a tick above the $25 million for a flag on the bridge. It is historically correct to say that there is no precedent in Australian politics for this level of Liberal extravagance. An increase in government spending in New South Wales under a Liberal government for this financial year of 26.5%. Now, Gough Whitlam was excoriated in 1974. It was a joke in the boardrooms of the nation that the Whitlam government knew nothing about managing the economy. It was a joke that they'd increased government spending in 1 year by 24.7%. 24.7%, a record people thought would never be broken. Yet here is a Liberal government in New South Wales breaking the record. Slothful policy-making expenditure increasing in one financial year by 26.5%. But Matt Keane's everywhere. He's the Liberal showpiece. He's the greatest. Well, he is in one sense. The greatest spender, the greatest public debt accumulator, and the greatest waste of taxpayers' money in New South Wales history. And the Liberal Party are wondering what they have to do to win an election. It's pretty simple. You only have to see the New South Wales budget to know why, when the New South Wales election is due next March, the voters won't want the Perrottet-Keane abandonment of simple Liberal values. The Liberal Party believed once in small government and lower taxes and creating incentives for people to do well. But here's the only Liberal government on mainland Australia increasing expenditure in 1 year in its recent budget by 26.5%, hopelessly inflationary. There is no determination, it seems, to achieve cost savings or efficiency on behalf of hard-working taxpayers. And the taxpayers don't like it. Keane's going to save the planet. So he provides $10 billion of taxpayers' money on so-called green energy programs to reduce global surface temperatures by 0.00055 degrees over a century. Well, months and months before the federal election, I warned that Prime Minister Morrison was in nightmare territory from which he would not recover. He was no longer a Liberal Prime Minister. That is true in New South Wales, of the only Liberal government on mainland Australia. The trouble is, they know everything, and they won't listen to those who may be able to get them out of trouble. The story is simple. There are hundreds of thousands of Liberal-thinking voters out there who can't find a Liberal Party.